And what the jaws of life does is it cuts quickly and deeply, because every minute counts for the person in the vehicle. The jaws of life. One thing we have to realize is this: the Word of God is our jaws of life.
Yes.
Because His Word is a very powerful cutting device that extricates us from the sin of our mouths that has been in a serious collision. The Word of God is our jaws of life. It is a very powerful cutting device that gets us out from the sin of our mouths that have been in a serious collision. We all have been in a collision.
Yes.
When does collisions happen? When does collisions happen? Because we have various types of collisions. We have what's called a rear end collisions. We have head-on collisions, side impact collisions, and hit and run collisions. We have rear end collisions, head-on collisions, side impact collisions, and hit and run collisions. When does collisions happen? Collisions typically happen when somebody fails to yield. Collisions typically happen when somebody fails to yield. And the reason why a lot of times we have collisions or conflict is because somebody fails to yield. Because our mouths always have something it needs to say. To the point we find ourselves in a collision. Because one thing about our mouths, while we're talking about driving, if you were to ask yourself, how many mouths do my mouth have on it? How many mouths do my mouth have on it? And how many times have it turned over? How much mileage do my mouth have on it? Not only how much mileage do my mouth have on it, but what is the speedometer of my mouth? Not only the mileage, but what is the speedometer of my mouth, which means how many words a minute come out of my mouth that need not come out of my mouth. How many words per minute come out of my mouth that doesn't need to come out of my mouth? Ask yourself that if I today was going to trade in the mouths on my mouth, how much could I get for it? If I today was going to trade in the mouths on my mouth, how much could I get for it? We have to be careful because that is how we come about collisions. James 1:19 says, "My dear brother, take note of this. Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry." Quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Which means that you need to slow down the speedometer of your mouth. You need to slow down the speedometer of your mouth, because one thing for sure, that when you're speeding, it's a great chance for a collision. When your mouth is speeding, it is a very great chance for a collision. When does collisions happen? A collision determines, when we have a collision with our spouses, it determines, or with a friend or a significant other, it determines if the damage done can be repaired, or has it just been totaled. The collisions that we cause in our relationships and in our marriages, with our friends and with our significant other, the collisions determine from the damages, can from these damages it be repaired, or has the whole relationship just been totaled? When our mouths are in a collision. Rear-end collisions, head-on collisions, side impact collisions, hit-and-run collisions. All where we find ourselves colliding. Well, the law says a rear-end collision is this. It occurs when one vehicle slams into the back of another. Rear-end collisions can occur for many reasons. The majority of these crashes result in the driver who hit the other vehicle from behind being found at fault. This can be true even if the vehicle in front stops suddenly. These type of collisions happen when the vehicle in the rear is riding the tail of the vehicle in front of them. If the driver in the rear had been defensive enough in his or her approach, he or she would have been able to stop in time or otherwise avoid the collision. According to the law, that's what a rear-end collision is. Well, we have rear-end collisions all the time. We have rear-end collisions like such. Now, the law says a rear-end collision can occur for many reasons. The majority of these crashes result in the driver who hit the other vehicle from behind being found at fault. This is why a lot of times we have collisions. Because I'm the person from behind, and this is the person in front of me. Now, I have the opportunity to keep enough distance between me and the person in front of me to avoid a collision. But the reason why sometimes we have rear-end collisions because when I should keep my distance, I begin to ride the tail of the person in front of me. And we know what it means to ride folks' tail. You need to get it together. I'm so sick of you. You can never change. And you ride, and you ride, and you ride, and this is a rear-end collision. Why? Because I'm riding the tail of the person in front of me. The law said these kind of collisions could be avoided if the person in the back wasn't riding so close. These type of collisions could be avoided if the person in the back took a defense mechanism and kept his distance. That when he realized they were running up on him, there was enough distance to stop before it was too far gone. A rear end collision. If I had kept my distance from the person in front of me, even if he was to stop suddenly, the law says that the person from the back is still the one at fault. So though he was moving away from me while I'm still trying to collide with him, but then he stopped suddenly and we collided. And now I'm the one in the back want to get up and start clowning. I'm the one in the back that want to get up and say, why you stuck all of a sudden? You weren't looking in your rear view mirror. I said to the person in front of me, you could have avoided this collision. But the law said that if I had kept my distance, the person in front of me, when they stopped, it would have been enough distance between me and them that I could put up enough defense that when I slammed on my brakes, there would still be enough distance.